Yeah.
Damn it.
Why? What were you about to say?
A non-streaming topic.
You're pregnant?
No.
Am I the father? Wait.
You ain't no father.
I am a mother lover, though.
Like, I go on Twitch and I just see fucking half-naked women everywhere, and it's like, how do you block that? But you can't, because you can't just, like, block all women.
Yeah, where the men at? That's what I want to know.
You can put not interested, but then it's like... You can, like, I want to... Can you just,
yeah,
like...
how those functions work are weird to me.
I want to, like, go on an account and just, like, block, hide, never see.
I tried using Twitter recently. Don't know why, but it's like, it's fucking hilarious, like, how inflammatory it is. Like, it recommends you shit that annoys you. It's like, if you interact with anything, it's like, oh, we assume you're interested, and we're gonna bombard the fuck out of you with it. It's really funny.
It's, like, so blatant. It's like you like, press one video, and then the next 5 videos are just the same subject.
Yeah, basically.
It's like, chill out.
But it's like, it's not even that. Like, for some reason, it thought I wanted to watch some, like, fight videos. So, because, like, I see a video, it's like, okay, what is this about? Then I watch it, it's like, yeah, that wasn't for me. And I was like, oh, every other video now is about people getting into fights. that didn't take long, Jesus. How was it so fast?
I'm trying to think of a topic I'd actually want to talk about.
What I thought I'd talk about was I recently watched Dope Sick. And I think it's interesting how hostile a lot of people are towards drug users. But the way it depicts drug users is very interesting. It's like, once you're addicted, it's like, you're fucked. It's like, basically no amount of willpower will help.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever been addicted.
You've been addicted to that pussy.
Nah. I don't, like, I've never... Well, I wouldn't compare, well...
Considering it. Nothing compares to you.
I feel like there's a difference between, like... Well...
Oh, like, when it comes to the drugs, it's like a pretty severe chemical dependency. Well, when it comes to, like, opioids are fucking insane, apparently. They actually change your brain chemistry.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, like, comparing, like, if I was, like, addicted to gambling, would I kind of get what it's like for someone who's, like, addicted to opioids? It's
Probably
like
not, honestly, because the chemical dependency is pretty fucking visceral.
That's what, like, I'm wondering, it's
like, that's what
pain and discomfort, physical pain and discomfort, like...
It's also that, like the namesake of the show, Dope Sick, refers to, like, the withdrawals that you go through, and it's described as feeling like you're going to die, like, quite literally. Like it's a reason people struggle. Like, you have to accept death in order to be able to get through withdrawal. That's fucking insane.
I wonder if I'd be able
Are you okay with dying? Maybe you'll be able to get through withdrawal.
I wonder if I could do it.
Too hardcore for me. Yeah. So I think I now understand why my mom was like, when I asked her, hey, do you want to help trying to get through withdrawal? She was like, no. I was like, well, it's not really up for discussion. I was like, it's like she explained why.
Yeah. It's rough. Like, it seems like, well, like most people get on it like, oh, they hurt their arm and then they get some drugs and then they keep taking them. It's like they kind of...
Yeah, which is why they restricted the use of opioids until they made some changes in America, which were insane. And that's the other thing I was wanting to talk about. Why do you think nothing fucking changes in America? There's so many obvious things that everybody's angry at, and then nothing changes anyway. I actually think they're heading towards a violent revolution on multiple levels. Left versus right currently, but also just versus the CEOs that pull this sort of shit.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna reach a burn it all down.
Well, it's
point.
like, how do you... It's like, say the goal is like, okay, you make stuff illegal. If you wanted to like stop something.
Oh,
like,
no, I think I want to start with why are they basically letting it happen? Because it feels like
that's what I mean. It's like...
It's supposed to be a democracy. How are the people not involved?
Yeah, but if the democracy is 50-50, nothing changes. So it's like constant, like... like the Senate, like, oh, here's a bill, and then they don't pass it. Or they're allowed to pass bills, and then, like, sneak stuff in. That's like... You know, and it's like okay, everyone, let's like put this into legislation, and they've put right at the end like some sort of other thing that like fucks up something else, and then you can't. Like, isn't it a case
why haven't people like? Do you think the system doesn't work, or do you think it's people not engaging with the system, or do you think it
doesn't work? It's too slow, and it's like, well, let's say for example, you have like a bill. And it's got loads of things in it, and they're all like left-leaning, right? So say all of them are like Obamacare and all this like good stuff liberals want, right? But then the right sneak in a thing like abortion's illegal, right? So say it somehow gets through.
Here's the thing: should that be straight up illegal?
Yeah, you shouldn't.
If there's aspects of it that has nothing to do with like the spirit of the bill, it's like. Because, okay, when we say bills, are we talking about laws? Shouldn't laws apply to specific situations and circumstances? Why the fuck are you, like, packaging shit like this?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It should be straight up illegal. It's like, that's a non sequitur. Like, it shouldn't... Yeah,
because they can package it, because then if you... I think it's a case of, like, say it passes.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get rid of one part of it, you have to get rid of all of it. Or you have to, like, change your bill or... It's like you'll slow everything down.
That's why they're trying to leverage it. But, like, do I just, like, not understand the point of the bills? Because, again, I see them as laws. Have I just completely misunderstood?
I don't know. It's...
I thought that was, like, at least the spirit of it.
But there's stuff where it's, like...
You're trying to implement rules that are supposed to be...
non sequiturs.
Followed, yeah.
Like, what is it, like...
Why are we allowing non sequits? I think it would be funny to sit down with lawmakers, lawyers, and game designers. I tried to figure out like how to build a society. Oh yeah, psychologists too, to like figure out how to create incentive structures and see if it's anywhere near similar to how any other societies function. Like if we were just like making everything from scratch, what would that look like? Because it feels like a lot of these ideas people had weren't made with the knowledge we have today. But people are so... How to put this? There are ideas that the nation was founded on. And therefore, you can't ever update them. Do you think that... Do you think that they're like reaching the point where it's just never gonna get better because they committed to the mistakes of the past? Feels like it sometimes.
So I'm reading this. It's like something called secondary legislation.
What would it?
See, it's like.
Solidify.
I see everything. There is no escape. Busted.
So it's like giving, like, you.
Me?
No, I'm just trying to explain. It seems like it's. It's like.
How did you come across this? Did you just start reading about it now?
Yeah, I'm just googling it. Yeah.
Secondary legislation.
It's like you're voting on a law, and then it's like.
I think we've talked about this somewhat before, actually, because I seem to remember saying it seems like they should be able to change some of the laws if they're not working, even the fundamental ones. It's why you have the amendments. They're called amendments because they amended shit. It wasn't working, so they changed it. But then, how far does that go? Why are they setting the line where it is? You probably reached the point where you don't want everything to be up for review. Like, how often do you want to tell people that no, women aren't just supposed to be seen and not heard?
It seems like the issue is like.
What do you think even is an issue?
So say you wanted to change something in the US, right? It's like it takes forever to like change it, like figure out, like write it out. Then you have to get enough votes. Then you have to enforce it, and then as soon as, like, say you manage to get it through, the government swaps, and then they just cancel it and shut it down like instantly. So
yeah, I've complained about that before, but that's like intentional. That was frustrating.
But then you get like vagueness in the.
No, it makes the entire system seem schizophrenic.
Yeah, but then
because of how there's you need to have like middle parties at least. Like if you're going to measure this on a linear scale, you need to have some possibilities in the middle. But you don't have that, which means you flip-flop and then you like completely contradict yourself every 4 years.
Then you also have like vague writings, like you had something like, oh, police can detain people indefinitely if they suspect terrorism or like they have links with terrorists. So like they could just hold you forever, and the degree what counts as suspicion is the guy thinks you're like one policeman thinks you're suspicious. Like it's the vague language of it.
Insane.
It's like the language is so vague that it's like how it's enforced. You can get away with loads of stuff, or like when you try and change the law, or like it just creates issues where you have to have like massive lawsuits and things because one interpretation is different than someone else, isn't?
That's kind of why you need to have laws be dynamic and updated, because sometimes you don't understand the consequences of the language until you've implemented it and see how it's used.
Yeah.
And then you should be able to update it in order to get around those things. But there's no system in place to do that, is what it seems like. And that seems insane to me. It's like, you're just assuming you'll get it right the first try. And then if it doesn't, fuck it. You're living with it.
For me, it feels like America doesn't have something that's like focused on protecting the population online. It's like everyone should be free to do what they want. So it's like you give people personal responsibility to look after themselves, but you can't. It's like people aren't smart enough to do it, aren't educated enough to do it, don't have the time to do it, like don't understand, or they don't have a choice. Like, oh, I live in this town, and the only like company that has water, flowing water to my house, I have to use that. But they don't like clean their water properly, so I have to drink it. But I can't. There's nowhere else for me to get water.
Yeah, you have those. What how do we call it? Oligopolies.
Yeah, like
Where
monopolies.
everybody's working together to jack the price up.
Yeah.
How often that happens seems insane, but
And it seems like they don't have standards for like
period.
how or like how they think. So say they're like food can have unlimited amounts of sugar and chemicals and everything in it. It's like they don't restrict
I'm
food.
trying to say Americans lack restraint.
Yeah. Well, it's like if you let people do whatever they want, in general they just do path of least resistance, and then
Yeah.
also it's like you'll just try and maximize profit out of people. So you just make all your food like basically as cheap as possible, expensive as possible for the people buying it, and then
Yeah, I've had that conversation with others recently. How it's funny that it seems like so much food that's sold like outside of a restaurant, it's just bad on so many levels. It's almost impressive.
yeah.
But they're still able to sell it, so it seems like they just make whatever the fuck they can with whatever chemicals they have available in the lab, and then just try to see what they can get away with.
Yeah. And that's what it just seems like. There's no America seems like the people that are there, like the government that's supposed to like stop large organizations and companies from bad impacts on like everybody are, they're like funded and sponsored by oil companies, like the sugar industry just gives shitloads of money to politicians so they don't have to have limits on the amount of sugar.
Oh yeah, I mean the most hilarious circular system for that is how you have like sugar companies funding research to like figure out, oh, how healthy is sugar? Oh, it's actually really good for you, until somebody else researches it.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's like there's like the government doesn't protect the population from itself. And like when I say itself, it's like I don't like civilians versus, or not civilians, like just.
I mean, corporations are part of the people and they're part of the system, and they do not give a fuck. No.
No. So it's like.
But these are sort of two separate groups, though. But I'm talking about this, and I think it's funny how I put this. I feel like I'm making too much of an assumption, but I swear to God, every time I see like corporations or people who are like making money off of others, they're always right wing.
Yeah.
So like whenever I hear, oh, there's a pastor swindling all of their parishioners, is that what you call them? I don't even know at this point. Yeah, it's like they're always right wing, and if there's like some insane like pyramid scheme, it's always right wing. So it's like, but also the victims are almost always right wing.
Yeah.
It's fucking. So how the fuck do I convince
they just eat themselves,
like people to like protect themselves? Like just because you agree with them on certain things doesn't mean like they're like a good person, but that's how they interpret it. Like if I agree with them on certain things, they have to be a good person, and then they get fucked over for it a lot of the time.
Well, because for me it feels like there's no long-term planning, like
for whom, by whom, with whom.
like the government for the country. So like they don't make plans for like 100 years in the future. They don't like let's like here's a massive infrastructure project to like fix the education system. It'll take 20 years. They can't do it because they're in power 4 years. The other one shut it down.
I think they quite literally can't do it for several reasons. First of all, it's like the planning phase, and nobody would trust people to revamp the educational system. They're sort of just they're stuck with what they have, because if the right wingers get involved, then they're gonna make it all about Jesus and fuck over all the sciences. And if the liberals get in there, it's the other way around, and the right wingers don't like that. Yeah. So even when you're making the plans, it's gonna take too long to get that set. And then, like you said, when the other government gets put into place, they're just gonna ignore everything that happened and pull it all back. So you'll never get it implemented.
There's like zero social cooperation. It's like...
Yeah. This is why you have to fix it socially first. Like, if everybody agrees that the educational system has to change, then people can have conversations about how to change it. But so long as there's not social agreement on those levels, nothing's going to change, because they're just going to vote somebody else in charge to reverse what just happened.
I think also the issue with America is it's
but how the fuck are you supposed to get, like, what is it, like 60 million people to agree? I lost track. Like,
but it's like the problem with America is you have so many states that are like separate, have their own like level of control against, like, so you have the main government, but then it's like the governors of the states can do so much different. Like, one state has income tax, one state doesn't. It's like they're literally just competing with each other for like people to come and live there, and it's like there's no cohesion, and it's like you can't even think of America as like try and fix America. You just do like one state at a time, or like I don't even know how much control they have, because it's you can't like you need like say
yes.
Say you had, for example, say like in England, because I don't know America. Say in England you have what like say there's an issue of like knife crime and stuff in London, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you like the problem you have with it at the moment is a lot of it's like kids doing it, so they're like under 18. And
kids are doing it.
Yeah, kids are like having machetes and just like attacking each other in the streets.
What fucking Michael Jackson, who's bad bullshit is this?
Yeah. But then it's like you basically need to have like standards to live by and consequences. So it's like if you basically need to make examples of people, basically. So, and you kind of you need like a level of control to like enforce all this stuff. So it's like, again, I just go back to that. You need like a good dictator, basically. You just need one person to run shit for like a really long time, so that plans can be followed through on. Because there's too much sort of...
How long are you expecting a good dictator to last?
Well,
like, I think America kind of like had the right idea, but they didn't kind of had enough.
Because the problem, as soon as someone comes into like, people have their own motivations. So as soon as someone takes control, their own motivations like affect things, and then they can just like they just want to have an impact themselves and get their own benefits from whatever the system is. So say there's like a massive project, and it's like 20 years, and it's like halfway through, and then some guy comes in, and he's like, he wants to be remembered, and like, he wants some money for his own, you know, oh, I want to build a huge stadium. So he like takes all the funding from the 20-year project and does like a sports stadium, and just like shuts down.
Implement systems that don't allow for that. That's the.
But that's the thing. So it's like that system does. There's like there's no systems like that. It seems, because it's almost like you just can shut anything down.
To create those, implement those.
Yeah. So it's like you need you need some kind of part of the government that's like permanent, fixed, and like outside of political alignment. It's like, so there needs to be something to actually like base its standards on, which would be some kind. It's almost like scientific institute, or like, I don't know what you would even like say they need to, I don't know, say there's a massive project, like they need to turn all the roads in America in, oh no, okay, no, say they're going to make a massive train network across all of America, right?
I think they did that.
Well, it's not, no, because everyone just drives cars everywhere. So like a public transport system for each like major city, right? Let's say that. So every city with like over 100,000 people, or like say they mark like 50 cities across 100 cities in America. So like, okay, we're going to make public transport available for every one of these cities, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like that just happens, and no matter what leader or like person comes in or different government, like they can't stop it basically.
I think, God, you just put me down a non sequitur now. I just think it's funny how America, like in entirety, apparently has just given up on public transport.
Yeah.
Like that's just funny to me because
cars are status symbols.
Yeah,
and
but
everything's
over
about
here
competition.
it's like, if I'm like, I don't want to have a fucking car in the city. It's a shit show. Like, you're better off just taking the bus, because finding like a place to park that isn't like insanely overpriced and finding a spot at all is like, it's so unnecessarily stressful.
That's how they like redesigned America for car, because all the like car manufacturers just influence the politics to like shut down all the projects and just make massive roads everywhere.
God, what a great idea that was.
Yeah. So it's like, that's what, so say you had this project, like public transport, no matter what government comes in, it can't be cancelled. It's like there's, the only way it can be cancelled, I guess, is just like every single member of the fucking, you know, what do they call them, senators? I don't know what they're, all the members of parliament, whatever. Like every single one of them votes to stop it. Like they all have to, like every single one of them has to vote to end it, for it to ever shut down.
Yeah, that'd work.
So it's like,
would they do that?
well, it's like you need some kind of like, because, oh well, basically they're trying to like just completely get rid of any kind of democracy, just everything like pure capitalism, corporations just do everything, and like they're hoping that competition between the corporations will
it's so fucking funny
facilitate
to me, like, how little they trust
equality.
The government, but just trust private enterprise, when like it's essentially the same system, it's just less regulation.
Because like when you see like
and
Dave
the motivations
Shapiro,
are different.
he talks, he's like,
did you say Dave Shapiro?
mm-hmm.
I mean Ben Shapiro or Dave Chappelle? Who?
Oh, yeah, Ben Shapiro, whatever. I think there's a Dave. Okay, anyway, Ben Shapiro.
It could be, but...
Like, so he's like,
Dave Shapiro.
every, like, the immigration. What is it, immigration? Well, he's basically like there should be no unions. There should be no minimum wage. It should be purely like everyone competes and it's like, whatever you can get in capitalist. Because the idea is that competition will be so high that the competition forces people to make the systems better for the people because they have to compete with each other.
We just talked about this fucking oligopolies. Like, when there's less like regulation, people just like band together. It's like, well, you now don't have any system to see if there is an oligopoly happening, and you're fucking completely broke and have no leverage, and we're paying all the cops. It's like you would immediately create a mafia.
That's what America's trying to do, where it's like the goal is to have the competition and the freedom and capitalism. The goal is like
every time you say capitalism,
the competition will bring forth the best system because the competition
here's the thing.
It doesn't work.
The problem is the underlying incentive for everything is greed. But if you can have, here's the thing, you can have competing government structures, government branches. You can still have competition. It's just that they don't have to be incentivized by like the worst aspects of humanity.
Yeah, but then they also fail to see that you would want like a baseline for failure. It's like, okay, you can have a system where there's no minimum wage, there's no blah blah blah, like compete what you want, do whatever you want, but free housing, free food, free water, free healthcare, like basic universal income for everybody, like free services, free childcare as like a base, and then on top you have this compete and do what you want. But no, it's just like you lose all your money, you're homeless, you have to take drugs, and then you just die in the street. It's like
it's kind of funny. I think that with AI, it could actually greatly benefit capitalism because you can remove people from it, but you have to basically tax all the companies in order to give people a baseline living condition.
And it's like you have so many large worldwide companies just funneling all their money out of different places. So countries don't have enough tax to go through with things because all the corporations are just tax avoiding everything. So it's like the system doesn't work when the biggest earners, with the biggest source of tax income, isn't there anymore. Because you're not taxing the companies properly because they're just having offshore.
Oh yeah, the fact that they don't have any taxation is fucking weird to me.
Yeah.
It's like the point of having them there in the first place. I don't.
They just funnel money out. That's it. There's no
Who came up with this? Who thought this was a good idea?
Yeah. But then it's I feel like it's just there's no overarching goal or direction. So it's
for the country, for companies, for capitalism. I don't know. You have to be
for humanity.
Oh, well, yeah, no shit. We haven't had that ever.
And then countries themselves sort of.
I think the closest thing we've had, which I wish we had more of, was shit like the space race really banded people together. You had a concrete goal and something to achieve. I think that actually does something for the psyche of a lot of people.
Right, and that's it. It's but then that's the example where America and Russia are competing, and then the great achievements come from the competition.
Mm-hmm.
But then,
the government's competing. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, but then it's so competition is great, and everyone says space race is great. But then as soon as that's where Ben Shapiro's logic of people just compete and it gets better. But as long as they can compete, and as long as they choose to compete and not just all join as one massive group and control everything. So that's where you need like the government's, you know, monopoly laws, anti-compete stuff. And it's like
anti-compete stuff.
Yeah, like when Blizzard tried to buy, Microsoft tried to buy Blizzard and it got blocked for years.
I guess it worked.
Because it was like too much like monopoly on like one segment of like industry.
What about fucking Tencent? Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
The amount of companies they own is fucking insane.
The Tencent aren't control, like they buy like minor stakes in everything. So they don't buy controlling stakes and stuff. Or they kind of split across enough industries, or buy through subsidiaries and I don't know.
Is that the only thing we're concerned about? Not really, no. No, they can still have an influence if they have minor stake. That doesn't feel right to me.
They can have influence, but not like monopoly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how much influence is a monopoly?
Who knows? Also, it's like you have no like consensus anymore on things. It's like, hey, we should, you know, get our kids vaccinated for like measles and stuff. It's like, nah, vaccines kill you. It's like, oh, okay. So then health system falls apart, and it's like, okay.
Really, you have to bring up that topic?
That's an example. Or it's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like loads of different subjects where there's no like, you can't trust teachers because, you know, if my kid does something wrong, it's like the teacher's bad. It's like my kid never does anything wrong. But then you get like,
legitimately seems like a lot of people think like that.
Yeah. Then you get like dumb fuck kids that can't do anything.
Isn't that the future you want?
And you're just kind of like coddling people. And it's like, the thing I like don't like the most is like the fact you can't say what you want and like fear reprisals and stuff. That's fucking annoying. It's like,
what, like on Twitter, just people gone
like,
power hungry.
You can't, like, it's against the law to be Islamophobic.
Oh, that seems like a English thing, yeah. British.
Yeah, it's like, you can't, you know, if you say anything Islamophobic, like, you get fired. And it's like, so it's like, say me asking a question of like, do you think Sharia law's bad?
That's Islamophobic, how do
Oh, you can't ask the question, it like creates conflict.
Oh, the question itself is bad, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, they don't want to talk about it. It's like, okay. It's like Islamophobia. It's like, what the bullshit.
I think the problem for me is actually the attitude that people summarize as it's not my job to educate you. No, it's like that's what you have to do. If you want people to change, you need to educate them.
Yeah.
If all you're gonna do is like bully them out of their opinion, you're just waiting for the bigger bully to come do the same.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just fucking annoying. There's like, I don't know, it's like it's like, it's this kind of, like in America, it's like freedom to do what you want, but then if you're fucking stupid.
Freedom to do what you want sounds a little inaccurate. But...
It's like, oh yeah, let everyone compete, and then let, you know, people do when they look after their own lives. But then it's like 20% of the population has a sub like 80 IQ, so they're just fucking useless and can't do anything. So it's like,
hey, no need to come after me like that.
So it's like, what do we do about the people that, you know, can't compete and look after themselves?
Shit on them.
Let's just use them for like making money. It's like,
I mean, do you have a better idea? That's what I thought.
It's like, just fucking. Damn.
Take it easy.
It's like people are afraid of the government telling them what to do, even though what the government tells them to do could be organized, thought out, and sort of designed by the people and like a good thing. So it's like there's no
again though
belief or trust in
corporations
authority.
tell people what to think all the time. It's just they do it via ads, commercials, and their own propaganda.
Yeah.
Or somehow that's acceptable.
Yeah.
Well, unless they blatantly disagree with it.
Because there's no force. If the police are like, put down the gun, or like, you're not allowed to say that, and I'll be like, fuck you, and then they arrest me.
Does that happen?
Yeah.
Fuck you, and they arrest me. Typical American.
Yeah, it's just fucking. And we said there's a problem before of like idiots being able to vote and have the same like impact as like intelligent people. It's just like you get all the dumb people voting on stuff, and it's like they can't fucking. They don't know what they're voting on. So it's like a democracy where all the stupid people help make decisions. It's like, well, you don't want stupid people making decisions.
Yeah, because the thing you actually want is a meritocracy, but the closest thing you get is a democracy.
Yeah. It's like, how do you determine the merit?
That's what I mean. Like that's like the biggest problem, because if somebody's smart enough, they can just lie.
Yeah.
And then they can lie to their own benefit.
Yeah.
But let me put this. If there's like a correct decision, like somehow like objectively, you can say that the smart person can intentionally make the wrong one to their own benefit. Sure, that's a possibility, but the dumb person doesn't even have the capacity to know which decision is correct in the first place, so that doesn't get you any closer.
Yeah.
So I think that is a conundrum that doesn't seem to have been considered very much.
Yeah.
And like the first thing I would be concerned about when somebody claims to know something about something is, okay, how do I know that you're supposed to know what you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, if I can like look up their background and their education and all that shit, and I find out that it's just absolute nonsense, I would just stop listening to them. But so many people, it seems like they don't know what to look for. So because they don't know what to look for in that domain, they just go, but do I agree with this person? And it's like,
Then it doesn't.
All you need. That's all you fucking need. I'm a liberal. He says liberal things. He can't be wrong on these topics.
Then it doesn't matter their qualifications if what they're saying is correct.
Yeah, but you need to be able to gauge whether or not what they say is correct.
Right. But then if I say to you 2 + 2 is 4, but then I have no qualifications, and some guy next to me says 2 + 2 is 5, and he's like the king of maths. Like, which one do you agree with?
Yeah, of course I would go with my own experience. Otherwise, I'd need a fucking real good fucking explanation. But
So yeah,
it's like
the explanation, not the person.
Generally speaking, yeah, but therein lies the problem. Anybody can reach the same level of expertise given enough time. But the point is, we can't fucking educate the entire population to reach consensus on everything. That's why you have a government. Otherwise, if everybody was omniscient, we just do everything, and we do it correctly because we just know. The problem is the lack of knowledge and the segregation of that knowledge. Like, how society functions best is when we're able to trust each other with designated expertise and specialization without having to have all that knowledge myself. We can delegate time to become good in specific areas. Yeah. And that includes government, but there's so much distrust of government that it seems hopeless at times.
And then the capability of the institutions seems less valid when it's like every few years they like shut down projects, change leadership, blah, 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 so you have they don't do anything because they're just like completely locked up in conflicts internally.
Sure can be.
Need a good dictator.
Don't you think people would eventually try to reform the legal structures, the building of the laws, when it works so slow and so badly? Oh, but I think actually part of the problem is that it has to work slowly because that's like one of the few areas where they don't have like the new government every 4 years intervene and change it again, because you can't just fucking rewrite the laws like that every 4 years. That wouldn't work. What is this?
Yeah, it's like it seems like the benefit for, like the benefit you'd have for most people would be if you set up some kind of like protections against suffering and like inability to sort of survive. Like say it's like you lose your job and then you have no money and then you're just screwed. It's like that shouldn't happen. You know what I mean? It's like you need systems where it's like because it benefits the system. Like if you have a really good worker or like an industry, like a really good, you know, expertise, and then like they get in an accident and they have to like take time off work for like 6 months and they lose all their money and they lose their house and then they can't afford it and then like they can't buy a suit and they can't go to interviews and they can't do anything. It's like if you just
these insane chain reactions are. Yeah. I thought, dude.
Solidify.
The fact that it's there inherently is one thing. The fact that banks like capitalize on it, like,
yeah,
you have like overdraft fees and things that escalate and stack, and I don't know. Yeah. I heard some horror stories. What the fuck? Like,
it's like governments would want it. It's like
government should be able to just say, yeah, you can't do that. That's illegal.
It's like in the government's best interest to like protect people, because then, say the worker just goes back to work, then they just make tax money again from the government. It's like if they just become a massive drain on the government now, it's like you're losing money, right? You're like making the system worse by not looking after like the components of the system.
Yeah, but the corporations are making money off of them, and somehow they have more leverage.
It's like
it's okay because the government is bad, not the corporations.
Because it's like you're.
What am I?
If you it's like no matter where the tax money comes, it's like if I, you know, evict a guy who's like lost his leg, and like resell the house.
Isaac, what is wrong with you? Why did you do that?
Yeah. Well, the government still gets taxed because me selling the house, they get money for it, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But like that guy's life is fucked up. So it's like there's not a kind of. They just see the money side. It's like they just want the tax revenue regardless of where it comes from. So it's not. It has the wrong like. So say like, the government isn't protecting people enough.
Mm-hmm.
But if say I'm like say I you know rent an apartment and then I'm kicked out because then the guy who owns the building wants to make the rent higher and I can't afford it. He's still getting the money's still moving in the system, right? Even if I'm like made homeless, the money still moves around. So that's all they focus on, because it's like, as long as the money's being used, the government still gets the money. But it's not looking at the people that are affected by the system and the people. It's just purely like, keep the money moving. It doesn't matter where it moves. So that seems like the issue. It's like the priorities are wrong. It's like
Unsolicited, and all the more
the like
valuable.
well-being of the people should be
It'll
number
definitely
one.
stop moving if the people who can spend it aren't able to have money to spend.
But then it's well, you just like I say I have 10 employees,
Shine down.
and then I fire 5 of them.
About to get dicey.
Make the other 5 work like twice as hard for like a 20% pay increase, and then all the money I've got extra from firing the other people, I just like go to like super fancy dinners every night and buy like fancy cars.
Still cracks me up how many companies do like restructuring where they just... How do I put this? They like take on a subsidiary, or they try to like merge two companies together, for example, and then they also simultaneously cut away half the staff, even though the restructuring, which means it's already going to be chaotic because they have to like recreate a new system, and now with less people, which means they might have to rehire people because they can't support that sudden drop of employees. And then they also give the CEOs a salary boost and shit, and everything happens simultaneously. I just look at that and go, there's no way that's good for the actual company in total, and it keeps happening. Which means the CEOs are making all the decisions, and they're just jerking each other off, trying to make money for themselves, and they don't actually care about any of the companies. Is there like, what the hell is the term, like a rotating door when it comes to CEOs, where they can just like go from company to company and make money, and then just jump ship? And
that's the thing. It's like the stock shareholders and what it's kind of like they don't care about the company. They just want to extract money from it. So then they bring a new CEO in who, you know,
no, like shareholders, I'm well aware of it. I've talked about that before. Like,
Thank you for
they actually don't want any form of stability. Things going fast up and fast down is like fucking great for them. They only care about like money per second, which means if they can go on something that is like completely unstable but is like getting them a shitload of money, then they just buy it by the slow, pump it up, and then just dump it immediately.
Yeah, but it's like
That's
you need
good
to.
for people who gamble on the stock market.
You basically need to like just redesign the entire, like. You just need to basically make it like huge change, like changing people's entire outlook and like behavior. It's like,
You could, you should.
say for example, like there's a new law today. 1 person per 1 house.
Announcement.
Yeah, announcement. You can only own 1 house. Sorry, you got to sell the rest of them. Thanks. That's like that's one thing. So like. Only like corporations, you have a split between commercial properties and like home properties. So like companies can't own home properties.
You know.
And then, well, that would be the law. So I would just be like, okay, you can't, no, like companies can't own like a building and rent it out to like people to live in. And then you can only own 1 house. You only own 1 car. It's like things that it's
the only
like.
way I can imagine landlording actually working is if they actually rented it off of the government again.
Yeah. But it's kind of. That's just how I see. It's like. You just need restrictions to stop, like, because that's the main issue in the UK. It's like. Oh, it's like, how many properties do you own? Oh, 10. I rent them all out. I just live off the money. It's like...
Oh yeah, sounds good.
No one can afford to have children anymore. No one can have any security. And it's just ruins the... Like... You just need to get rid of housing as, like, a fucking profit venture. It's like, you just can't have... You can't have, like, necessities run by like companies. just fucking dumb. Because you're just, you're like ruined. Like, it's like most countries, like developed countries now, no one's having children. They're all like declining. Like zero population eventually in like 100 years.
As it should be.
So it's like, how do you fix that? Well, like, no one wants kids because they can't afford them. It's too difficult, and like there's no help, and it's like everyone's like your own thing, and there's no like benefit. Like there's no benefit to having a kid. And it's like too expensive and difficult, so let's just not do it. It's like fine, and then just everyone, the country just dies.
Well,
so it's like
maybe that's the better option.
Well, it's like, yeah. But it's like you need to. It's like either you incentivize and make it super easy and like good, like as easy as possible to have kids, or you go what seems to be like America's one way they want to do it is like abortion illegal, contraception illegal. Just if you fuck, it's like you have a kid. Back to the old days. It's like putting their religious standards on people. So it's like different ways to solve the same problem, but it's like, for me, like the main reason I find that like everyone I speak to is like, oh, having kids and things, it's like they don't have their own home, so there's no security. They don't have the ability to look after their kid and raise it because like both parents would have to work. And so they wouldn't have enough money for like one person to work. And it's like, it's literally like they can't fund having a family. And like you see it, there's this video of this like, I don't know, finance company or like credit card thing. It's like this guy, the CEO was like, we're going to do a minimum salary for everyone who works here of like 70 grand. Like no matter what your role is, like you get $70,000 a year. And then 5 years later, it's like every single employee has children. It's like, it's just everyone's having babies, like all of them. Because they can all buy a house, they all have loads of money, they all have security, and they all want to stay at that job. So the company's doing like 3 times as better as it did before. Because no one wants to leave, so they're all invested. But then that's where it's like, in America, everyone's competing and trying to siphon as much money out of people that then no one can have kids anymore. So it's like, this country just falls apart. And the same with like education. It's like,
there will always be like a cost population balance.
Yeah.
Like if you just accelerate everything to like 1,000 years in the future, we'll probably have like complete global saturation of human beings, for like a better term.
But then you also, it's like, what was I going to say?
No. What were you going to say?
No, it's just like you see, you measure things differently. It's like 2 full-grown adults working full-time can't have a kid because they don't have enough money. So it's like that. Like the standard should be like, just say you have a standard like 2 adults should be able to afford a house and 2 children and schooling and like transport and blah 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 blah. So you have this like minimum standard you want people to be able to live at. So it's like, if you work full time, you should be able to have a home and children. But then if you're like, you live in London and you earn like 25,000 a year, you can't do anything. You basically just like rent a room, save like 1,000 a year.
Working against you.
Yeah, so it's just like,
when you only got so much real estate to operate with, they're just gonna keep increasing the price until you can't afford it under most circumstances.
Yeah. But then that's why you fix it, where you can only own one. Only one person can own one property. Opens up a lot more housing.
Or you shouldn't be owning them in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't that be considered a, what do they call it? Like a service, a good, like
utility.
Utility, that's the term.
Yeah, like how like shelter is like basic.
Yeah, so it should be considered basic.
Yeah, it's just fucking dumb. So that the government doesn't make like, oh, the government, they've funded and like, you know, allowed more land to be made into homes, and it's like, oh, like 1,000 new houses. Mm-hmm. So then 100 companies buy them all and rent them out. So, oh, great. It's like, you need, the homes should be restricted to like who can buy them. The homes need to be, like, you're not allowed to.
Mm-hmm. Why are you so focused on people having families? On a very technical level, I'd agree, but it's not like we're close to that point. To some degree, I just have a hard time imagining that we'll get to a point where not we reach the inevitable collapse of humanity because nobody's ever going to have sex with each other ever again on kids. I think we have a lot of leeway. I just don't want Elon Musk to have 9 kids for him to neglect. I don't know, that's it. Kind of true. Well, again, you don't want bad things to happen fast either. That's the point. Like, you want some sort of counterbalance. Otherwise, it's like, oh, we have Trump. Oh, he's going to be here for the rest of our lives. Oh, oh no. Based. Isaac. That's the point of any system. It's supposed to give us a protocol for us to follow. So if that doesn't work, I don't think AI would work either. AI is going to have to be built around whatever the fuck the developer decides. So how do you make sure the AI does what you want it to? Would you just trust it blindly? It's like, it's telling us to commit mass genocide. Yeah! That was the cop-out answer I've ever heard. Just figured it. And large. What, base necessities? Non-opinion objective measures? But Isaac, creationists, maybe they just want holy water instead of drinkable water. Yeah, but they won't accept it because it's proven in their hearts. Yeah, but they do, and they decide that you're not allowed to use AI anymore. Because it goes against their religion. Okay, interesting. Does the AI decide that too? Based. Mm-hmm. Well said. True. That's why I wish we had like more objective goals. Like again, like the space race was just like we know when we're ahead, we know when we're behind, we know how much money we're pouring into this fucking shit. We're still willing to do it. We can tell when we're making progress. Everybody's fucking invested. We're all into this thing. Yeah, but like having a space race isn't going to fix these societal issues. But I think that's what annoys me because we should just. Oh, wait, I just realized nobody cares about the fucking objective measures. We'd rather complain about the gays rather than like improving our objective measures of life, like spendable money. People aren't even. Oh my fucking god! Like people should have more spendable money. It seems like, but then people are even arguing about that. Like, no, just don't get a minimum pay job. And fuck living wage. Have a dying wage instead. Okay, if you were an American, how? Okay, I guess I should just ask what would you do, but I just think, nah, fuck it, I'm creating the premise myself. I'm assuming you'd want to have like laws change. Wouldn't you try to have set up like laws or a system where you now can have influence on the laws being made? Wouldn't you try to set up a system like that? Either voting on laws or like a system. Not necessarily. Like, would you want that? Wouldn't you? I'm asking you for a system, not is this the system you want? Yeah. Would you want to change it, revamp it? And how would you go about that? How would you try to convince others? Like, what would you do as a start? I probably like try to pitch it going door to door and like try to force legislation about legislation. But I wonder if like the government, it seems like you should be able to do shit on the state level, but as soon as you try to affect like the government, the constitutions would stop a lot of possible influences you could have. Okay. As one is prone to do. Based. Mm-hmm. You try to circumvent all the issues instead. Like you wouldn't try to create systems or anything like that. You just like through brute force and financial power, you feels like a cheat. Is okay. Like my point would be you'd have to create something that's sustainable beyond your corporation if you want real change. That would be a starting point then? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Okay. You make your own government is what it sounds like. Yeah. Didn't I talk about that before? Where like I could imagine a future where corporations basically started their own miniature countries inside other countries. Like here's Coca-Cola bill. We have our own fucking school system, educational system in order to like optimize our workers like from birth. And here's also the legal systems we have in order to make things go as smoothly as possible. Good. Oh, okay. By the way, I ended up seeing Banshees of Inisherin with my dad. Great fucking movie. I just started thinking about some of the phrasing here. Just that would be brilliant. That show was so that movie is so fucking insanely Irish. I think you should watch it. The fucking premise was insane though. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ooh, they have to be the best. Oh, unless the Platinum Party shows up. Not with that attitude. Mhm. Okay. Go on. Dude, I just realized what the well, I guess they make the arguments that that's what states are. They should, if they so believe in like the spirit of competition, etc., they should just have fucking competing governments then. Like, do they though? Like, if they, dude, like honestly, if they made it like basically a non-issue, okay, fucking, they have to kill the landlords apparently. They need to make it like completely without friction to go between any of the states and settle down and then see where people go based on the laws and shit. Like if they just had like a massive expansion, like just I was almost about to say like settlements and shit, but just like more living quarters so that it's easy for people to like make it so that you can increase the amount of people living in a place by like 50%. Actually, I'm realizing there's so many problems that would come with a population increase. It wouldn't be fair at all. It would create such insane instability. I still want to try this though, for fuck's sake. And is that working out for people, or is it just like by reputation? Income tax, as in earnings. Yeah, but just because they don't tax it doesn't mean that there aren't other expenditures. Like it, you still have to balance your bank sheets and shit. Sure, it makes sense for rich people when they're already making a shitload of money, but again, like there are expenditures. Like if the housing prices are fucking insane and it's still going to balance itself out to being shit. Nice. Heat. Wait, what? What? Oh, you mean the current border crisis, or? Sure. Yeah, but you have to have systems in place to facilitate it. Yeah, no one wants to. But that's why you say, like, you set up a government that allows for it in order to test the theory that people, or that governments can compete, and that you don't even really need or want a proper government. You should make it testable, make it as objective as possible, and then see where people go. California. Yeah. But it would also, like, again, it would have like objective metrics. Mhm. That's why I'm saying you should have the infrastructure for that. Like, make it as easy for people to move around, settle down various places. Like, that has to be like government. God, I'm so bad with the terminology. Not sanctioned. That's not the correct term. Like, basically enforced. Government enforced. You have to have like almost 20% empty houses so that people can move at a dime, and it won't cost them anything to move everything. That's also going to be facilitated. You can do this like once every 3 years just to make it like manageable. Just like a bunch of rules in order to make sure that people can actually move around and settle down without initial financial expenditure being an issue, because you want to test for that. What's the term? Test. You don't want it to be a factor. You want to remove it as a factor, because some people are just stuck where they are because they don't have the financial freedom to go anywhere. So once you again, I'm fucking up all the terms. Once you cover that, Jesus Christ, help me out, Isaac. Just give me suggestions. Was it accountant? Yes, I guess that would be the term. Yeah. Was it account for that? It should make getting accurate data easier. And you'd think you'd want accurate data for this shit. How much do people even do, for fuck's sake? People are so happy just operating in a miasma of subjectivity and making their own lives more difficult. But at least they get to feel good about their shitty lives because they can just state their opinions. It's fucking fascinating. Where would you want to live? Kind of the same, but I actually I want to live near the equator so I can get more sun. I just want more brightness, more days. I hate the fucking winter here. It's dark for so fucking long. And then it's like extra rainy a few days, and it's like, oh, it's like day doesn't even happen anymore. The sun is just fucking cucked out of the sky. Haven't you seen like statistics on how like insane suicide rates go up once you move far enough north? Like once there's just too many days of night, people just start fucking killing themselves. That's how important a bit of sun and brightness is for people's lives.
Or like the most I don't know, successful is the word, but like richest. They're like not at the equator. If that makes sense. It's
The
like
richest countries are not at the equator.
yeah, it's like the most like stable, like countries that have stability long term and that have like weather that's not like too extreme and like environments that aren't too like difficult to live in. The more mild they are, it's all like not the equator and like further from the equator. So like European countries, you know.
Yeah,
like,
but they usually settle around like river mouths. That's like the most popular and successful location because then you have fucking shipping lanes. You have, I mean, just boat transport is really efficient and therefore it's really important for trade, and it also gives you access to food source via fish, and you can still have like farming and shit nearby. It's just water's really fucking good.
yeah.
Rivers are good, but then sea is good, so you just combine the two and you get a fucking river mouth and you're just fucking settled dock there. It's fucking amazing. I mean, you live in London, you know this shit.
Yeah.
And even when you go to the equator, it still holds. Like, fucking Egypt's right there by the river, Nile.
Yeah. Then, like, the way I think of things most is like if I don't really have any actionable influence on something, I don't really think about it.
Where's the fun in that?
It's like I don't bother my mind. I like think about things that I can action instead. So I focus on like my capabilities. Basically.
I mean, focusing on and thinking about they're necessarily the same thing for me.
Like, I don't care.
I don't
like
think about things day in and day out, but I like trying to understand a lot of things.
It's like I don't bother looking into like conflicts in the world.
Sure.
Because it's like I have no impact or it doesn't affect me. Like, I have no way of like, oh, I don't like this, but then I can't do anything about it. So what's the point?
When you say conflict, do you mean wars?
Well, yeah, like wars or like oh, you know, like Korea has the lowest birth rates. It's like, well, whatever. Like I know it's a fact, but I don't care. Like I don't think about it or try and solve it or like try and tell people about it or spread the word or like, you know, make my opinion known.
But I say, wouldn't a good person care?
Well, it doesn't matter if they care. Like I can care, but then not think like it doesn't affect me.
Sure.
It's like, oh, there's horrible things happening there. Okay, what do you want me to do about it?
Oh,
Like, nothing. Okay, well, why should I give a shit?
some older generations are just really fucking funny. I remember my dad being hurt by something my grandpa said, but the thing my grandpa said was just fucking insane in proper context. Whereas like my grandpa just likes telling him, like my grandpa likes telling my dad about just random shit that's happening with various people for some goddamn reason. So there's just a bunch of trivia that is being bombarded with, like, this person moved here and then like this person died and this person is now doing this with his life. This dude has picked up this hobby. It's like there's never anything like actual interpersonal. And when my dad was just like, I don't see the point in telling me any of this. I don't know what I'm supposed to say to this. And I was like, you don't care about people. That's fucking funny coming from my fucking grandpa who doesn't have any interpersonal relationships with these people. Whereas like he doesn't, like if somebody dies, like he doesn't know how it affects them. He doesn't fucking bother asking.
No.
Like it's just funny like how there's like a protocol of being very involved in other people's lives and yet not knowing anything about their emotions that I just associate with the 50s. It's like, be a good neighbor. Like, invite people to dinner, but don't fucking ask how they're affected by anything going on in their life.
Yeah.
Like superficialities. I find that
it's just like update. It's just keeping people informed.
Yeah. Be in the know. Be in the loop.
Know what's happening.
Yes.
Where it's like I just don't like. Like? Why? It's like usually I care about things that affect me.
You'd hope.
So it's like, oh, there's this war happening. So what doesn't affect me? So you can't make me care for that. It's like
Ukraine affects you.
well, not enough.
Affect you.
Yeah, but not in. But yeah, it affects me. But it doesn't affect me because it doesn't affect my actions I can take.
That doesn't mean it doesn't affect you.
It's like Russia's invading Ukraine.
Isaac,
it's like, well, what do you mean to do
as a
about
big, strong man, start pinning you down and pounding your ass, you can't do anything about it. Because that affects you.
Yeah, well.
Are you just gonna sit there and say you don't care just because you can't affect it?
Say that again? I kind of wasn't paying attention.
I said he, as a big, strong man, can pin you down and pound your ass. And that's gonna affect you. But it doesn't mean you can do anything about it because I'm a big, strong man. I'm stronger than you. You can't do anything.
Right. Which, so that's
does that
true.
mean you're just gonna? Does that mean you're just gonna keep pretending like it's not happening? I don't understand.
Well, it's like.
Also, how do you know if you can't affect it?
Well, no, but it's like, well, it depends on this. Like, if it's like that person down the streets being beaten up, that I can affect. If it's like Russia has invaded Ukraine, there's nothing I can do about it. So why would it bother me?
The extra mile.
Maybe you could protest.
But the protests do nothing.
Maybe you're not protesting hard enough.
Right, but then it's like I'm not willing to. It's not like a cause I find viable enough for me to really like lose my life over.
Busted.
Okay, don't you lose your life over it? I wanna get. Oh,
It's like
let's say you weren't a fucking critter, Isaac. How would you try to affect this?
Well, it's like who? Like, so there's like war in Ukraine.
Or just war anywhere. It doesn't even matter.
Okay, war somewhere. War. Okay, so who can impact it in some way?
Yes.
Okay, so someone with a private army, like the prime minister, like the actual person invading. It's like, okay, so what? Well, okay, say I'm in England and there's a war in like China or something. It's like, well, one thing I can do is kidnap the prime minister and force him to invade China, or I'll kill him and his family. It's like, like that's literally all. That's like how much.
I like how brute force means you feel like you need to have.
But that's like all you can do, because, like, whoever's in charge doesn't give a shit. They're already dealing with it. So it's like, if I want my specific thing to like happen, the people that can make it happen, I have to force them to. I have to make them do it. I have to convince them to do it. So it's like,
Sure,
how would I convince Joe Biden to start a war with Russia?
Have a dinner with him. Settle down.
Yeah. And say, I've poisoned your dinner. Here's the antidote. Invade Russia now, or you die.
And then, as the all-American hero he is, he tells you to eat his shorts.
Or it's like, or because he has a shit memory now. I'll just forget this fucking stuff. I have to keep repeating the same threat over and over and over. Or it's like the same. It's the same like villain. It's like Thanos, isn't it? It's like, I want to save the universe. Okay, I'll just kill half of it. It's like, you just have to make the like, or I'll set up a nuke.
In your head, Thanos wasn't the hero of the story, was he?
It's like, but what it would take to save Ukraine would be like putting America in war with Russia. So then, the outcome would probably be worse. So it's almost makes more sense to just let Ukraine be taken over than like start World War III.
I don't know. I think it should go straight to World War III.
Oh, there you go.
I like my solution better.
What would you do if there was World War III, and it was like you have to fight, you have to join the army? Would you do it? Like the government's like join the army or like, well, you will put you in prison or I don't know, do something. Like how into it would you get? Would you be like?
I mean, if it's World War III, what am I even fighting for? Who's
Like whatever, like you're.
who
So
am I
you
fighting
have.
for? What am I fighting
You
for?
basically have like East versus West. So you have like Europe, America versus Russia, China. Like only like Middle East. I don't know, whatever the combination of different. Like the world splits in half, so it's like we'll kill you or you kill us.
I do not think my strength lies in firearms, but okay.
What would you think it lies in? Like in a war situation, you're part of the army. Where would you best be situated? What's your best thought?
In front of the computer playing video games, talking about.
You can't do that. You have to take a role.
Yeah, that's where I'm struggling.
What do you think you'd be good at? Like as part of the military, if you had to take a military role.
The problem is, I don't think I'd fit like anywhere in the military. Like, I think I would have to. Like, how convincing am I really? But I think I would. It would make more sense to have me do political shit, even if it's just like using me as a fucking sacrifice. Just fucking. They're just sending me to like diplomatic missions where there's like a 99% chance to just kill me and move. I think I have more influence there than in a gunfight.
I don't know. Yeah. So you just die basically.
Yeah, but let's put me in the context where I at least have a chance of doing something significant. Like,
You try and convince other people to join the army.
Like, ideally, I wouldn't be in a situation. Like, I'd be doing something before the war starts. Like, once it starts, it's sort of like.
No, man, that's not the question.
has broken down. Yeah,
This is the scenario. You are in the military now.
Then
What's your
send
job?
me the gun, slap my ass, and send me to the front line. I don't know what to do.
But you wouldn't pick like driving a tank or like flying a plane. You don't think you'd be a good pilot.
God, like, do I have the reflexes? Also, my eyesight isn't even good enough to be a pilot.
Okay.
Well,
what about like in charge of logistics for like ammunition?
I can be large.
Deliveries. Like head of, I don't know, something. I don't know. Just something. You want to do something clerical? You just do data entry.
Sure. No,
so you're like in a battle. So there's a war, and you're like, there's a war zone.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you'd be best at? Like you have to.
Nobody dies like I do. No one dies like this.
Air support.
Moral support.
Strategy.
I let them pat my belly in order to keep up morale.
But do you think you'd be good at like being like in charge of like
this is
strategy?
Like what the initial question was. Like, I feel like your initial question was like, which side would it do? Like, how would it influence the war? And I was just like, okay, you're going to the front lines.
Yeah, because you just cop at it. Just like I want to be a generic infantry or die. That's your like two choices.
But, like, I generally don't understand. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
what does your personality facilitate?
I would like to go where I would have like most influence or chance of like affecting.
Which is where?
Where
do you think that would be?
Like, probably politics, but even that would be fucking.
What do you mean politics? Like the politics are over.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem, Isaac. I admitted that earlier.
Okay, so get rid of that then. So you can't pick that. So you have to pick something else.
Thanks, Isaac. You're so cool.
You're like, there's no politicians in the military, so it's like you have to pick a military role.
Okay, I don't. Okay,
internal police?
I get to general. I get to sit on my ass and tell people where to go, and then they die for me.
So do you think you'd be good at like battlefield strategy?
Honestly, I think like if we're at World War III, AI would probably just do it for us. I don't even I don't know how to engage with this. Like, I'm not even trying to be an asshole. It's just like there's so many fucking
like
variables.
But like your personality type and convictions and like understanding.
Yeah, it would make me not want to fight in the war in the first place. Is part of the problem.
They say you have to.
Then you're just adding. Okay, so I'm going to the front lines or not? I don't understand. Like, what do you mean?
So say like Russia invades Norway, you're
Yeah.
just gonna like let them kill you.
I don't know how to stop that. Like, do you get more information, or is this just the premise? Okay,
Well, it's
fine.
like
Sniper
you have
training.
you have to do something. Like you're like country's under attack.
Yeah.
And what would you choose to okay,
Am I
ignore the
in
military
physical
thing.
condition to not just be a fucking
Let's just say
liability?
Let's just say Norway gets invaded. Right.
Cool.
What's your first thing? Like, what do you do?
Happen,
What's your first like choices? Do you leave Norway? Do you join the army? Do you hide? Do you try and like speak to them? Do you like
talk to other politicians and try to get them involved? Probably. But like now we're not in World War III anymore. Like World War III makes that basically a non-option.
But say you've just been invaded, and they're like slowly working their way down through the country, like taking over.
Typical.
What do you do?
I don't know. How much time do I have? Like, do you even know how much time I have?
A week.
I guess I have to pick up the gun then.
You'd like leave Norway. So it's just like Norway versus Sweden.
Access to arms? I'm fucking. What do you mean Norway versus Sweden?
Norway versus Sweden. Sweden's invaded Norway. Every other country's not involved.
God damn it! What would you do if you're so fucking smart and shit?
Torturer.
What?
Torturer. Information from people.
Uh-huh.
Just like, where's your base? I'm not telling you. Just like flay the skin off their arm until they tell me, and then put it in a fire.
The fire was necessary. You're already taking it off.
No, it's like you take the skin off, and they're like, "No, I'm not telling you still."
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
give it
okay.
in
Then you
butter
put
at
in
least first, so it's like nice and crispy.
Yeah. Just kind of get
Just throwing it
information
in the
from
fire
people.
is such a waste. I was like, what's wrong?
Yeah, just get information from people.
What the fuck, Isaac?
I feel like that. Like I'd be alright with that in terms of, like.
Yeah,
It would
you're
be
the one being tortured. Of course, you'd be fine with that.
No, but then it's like it's like some people don't have the sort of fortitude to like behave in a way. It's like they know they might have to do something to like benefit everyone else.
Well, I'm glad we've both got such good understanding of where our strengths lie. I try to solve things as pacifistically as possible, and you go the exact opposite.
No, it's like I wouldn't like hunt people down to torture them. It'd be like,
okay.
if we needed the information, I could get it. I like getting information out of people. Basically.
Do you know how fucking unreliable torture is?
Gotcha.
Part of the problem is, like, if they don't want you to know, they can just lie to you with anything, and there's no way of verifying until you like went to the wrong place and there wasn't a base here after all.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it.
It's fine. You just do that. You just go to see if the information is true. If it's not, you just try again.
Try. Egg on my face. How embarrassing that I didn't consider that you could just fucking keep trying ad infinitum to the exact same results ad
Like-
infinitum.
Head of re-education. Well, fucking like
I feel
psycho.
like you need some re-education
Yeah.
with the way you're fucking considering this shit.
There is no escape. Here.
Or maybe just education
I wonder if
period
that's
would be
like
nice.
Quiet.
they'll do that with games where it's like
Dude, you think
Like-
Palworld's gonna have a re-education camp?
yeah, like DLC re-education upgrade.
Do you wanna play Palworld?
I don't
Have
know.
you gotten more? Okay.
It
Because
feels
it's not
like
that expensive is sort of
I
thing as
like
well.
I don't know what like the goal is. You just catch everything. Is that it? Is like, or is there like, you know, Pokemon? It's like, you know, beat the Elite Four, become a Pokemon Master. I don't. Is there like a story, or like you have to go somewhere, or to me it just seems like it's like Valheim without any kind of bosses and story. It's just like you're dumped in a world, and it's just like build shit, like Minecraft. It's like Minecraft with like pet battles. And like
Minecraft with guns.
I don't give a shit about Minecraft.
Okay.
It's just like because I don't. It's like I don't want to. There's nothing I want to create in Minecraft. It's like I want to create. Like Minecraft isn't my artistic medium of choice. Basically.
Did you ever play Minecraft?
Yeah. You just fucking build shit.
Yeah, like part of the openness is like part of the charm, but
there's no like. Well, I've said this before. It's like
there's a bunch of implicit goals for you to follow.
No, I don't want implicit. I want explicit.
Okay.
I want story. I want like to learn, or like, well, I'm fine. Say like Minecraft, where it's, or like we play Heroes of the Storm because it's like
Subnautica was pretty implicit.
Yeah, but there's like an end
structure.
There's like,
yeah, but it doesn't really guide you anywhere. It's just like there's a lot of.
Oh, that's not what I mean. I mean, it's like
together.
Like,
well, tell you where to go and shit.
Minecraft, you load in, and then what? You just make whatever you want to make. But
yeah, sure.
Like, it's not like Subnautica where it's like, you know, escape the planet. There's not the goal. What's the goal?
Kill the Ender Dragon.
Okay, so then yeah, play Minecraft, kill the Elder Dragon, then no more. It's like Valheim. It's like kill all the bosses. That like when I play Monster Hunter, kill all the monsters
once. If you don't want
once.
to follow any of the implicit goals, then yeah, if I can just go.
Because I'm not like, I don't give a shit. I'm not like, because I could if I spend I could spend.
Don't give a shit then.
That's what I mean. It's like, why spend all my time in Minecraft? Why not spend it in Valheim? Why not spend it in this game or that game?
Yeah,
because
you can do like whatever you want. It's like,
again, it's just like artistic medium of choice. All I do in those games is make stuff. So it's
sounds
like,
awful. Why would you ever do that?
But then it's like, why make it in that one versus something else? But then I don't have the same freedom of creation in like Minecraft as I would in Blender. So I just do it in Blender.
I don't know what you're referring to as artistic medium of choice, but okay.
Because all you're doing in Minecraft is making stuff.
Yeah, but you can create things for functionality, not just.
You can do that in Blender.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't want to like make a farm.
Rule set in Blender. Oh, for fuck's sake! Jesus.
It's like I don't want to make a farm. Like what's the point of making a farm in Minecraft, or like a big house? What do I get? What do I get from it?
A farm can facilitate you with resources to create things in Minecraft. Okay. In Blender, you don't get grain that has a function.
Yeah, but it's like it has a function within Minecraft.
Yeah, of course.
So, but then Minecraft, it does nothing. It's just if I enjoy playing it.
Minecraft doesn't.
Yeah, it's like it's not like me making art and selling it. It's like, yeah, okay, I could make Minecraft videos and sell it, blah blah blah. But like, I don't enjoy that.
Weren't you the one who didn't like people making art for money?
Yeah, but then so there's another purpose. That's why I said it's like, I could make art in Minecraft, but it's not the art medium of choice for me. So I don't play Minecraft because it's just an engine you make stuff in, and I don't like making stuff in Minecraft. The same as I don't like making stuff.
I like how you're not engaging with its game mechanics in any way at this point.
Yeah, but the game mechanics don't.
Aren't a thing.
Like the game mechanics give me nothing.
Enough.
Like,
give me it.
It's like, why don't I go play football? It's like,
yeah, why don't you?
Well, because I don't enjoy. Like, it's a waste of time.
Cool. So Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, but we both play it, and I don't have to like create anything in Heroes of the Storm. I just fight people.
Yeah, and if we play Minecraft, we're both playing that.
No, but it's not PvP, is it?
It could be.
If it's just me fighting you every time, it's just fucking boring.
Yeah, because you'd lose.
Yeah, probably. So then, that's just boring.
And all the more valuable for it.
So it's like, it doesn't. It's like the experience is the same.
I like how we fucking went from torture to you not being willing to play Minecraft. What the fuck is this? This conversation is torture, Isaac. Was this part of the plan all along?
Yeah.
That's
Dissuade
evil.
you from wanting to talk anymore.
Well, good job. You know,
no, it's like
that goal explains a lot.
My improved confidence in life has made me a more violent person. That's basically what seemed to happen. It's just like,
shut up, Isaac. Stop talking. Jesus Christ.
Confidence equals
violence.
Was it like
MC squared?
It's like willingness to.
Confidence equals MC squared.
Yeah. It's like confidence in my own capabilities. Like,
lets me know how much violence I can get away with.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Don't you me.
Like on a one-to-one basis, like if some guy's like, "Give me your money," then I just kick him in front of a bus.
Nice. And this is because you're confident, not a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, because it's like I feel capable in my ability to kick him in front of the bus before he stabs me.
And that's what was the problem before. You were worried that your kick would ricochet you onto the tracks instead.
Yeah, and it's also like I worried about the consequences. It's like let's care about consequences.
Yeah, no, you're right. A psychopath would also be worried about the consequences.
Yeah. It's just like I don't really care.
That's what they're known for, being worried about consequences.
I feel like letting things happen is a worse consequence than like risking action to stop something.
What?
Like say some guy tries to I don't know, attack someone.
Mm-hmm.
And that person is defenseless against him. It's like...
And that's where you show up.
But then it's like, I feel like... knowing...
Yes?
Like... I don't mind if I, get injured. I feel like I'll injure him as much as he'll injure me. So it's like...
And then it's all good.
Yeah, like I don't care about
assured destruction.
Yeah, so I'm not too bothered about my own
well-being.
Yeah, and if I can help someone else or
Thank you, that clears things up. It's very reassuring. Thanks for
Yeah. Again, it's like re-education. It's like the society is not facilitating its function by.
Man, the gallery sounds wild.
It's like, oh, that guy is attacking someone. I'll call the police. It takes them a few minutes. The person they were attacking is dead now. Oh, it took too long. So instead of me calling the police, I just...
use the gallery for re-education.
No, there's no re-education. Well, actually, no, that's not true.
Oh my god.
So it's like I stick to the policies and I don't make leeway for people outside of the policies. Like, for example, I don't know.
Don't you?
We're closing the gallery in an hour, so I can't sell any more tickets to the event because it's the last entry was, after 5 o'clock. So then it's 5 minutes past 5. So someone comes up and is like, "Oh, can I get a ticket? I really want to go. It's my last day in London. I'll never be able to see it again. Please, I want to." And I'll just be like, "No," because it's like I want to facilitate situations in which I can test my own ability to deal with conflict and like disappointment.
So you create them? What?
Yeah, I basically create them.
Did it have to be conflict? I chose it.
No. So yeah, like I choose to do it because it's like within the purview.
Isaac,
Like
our
yeah,
conversation so far, does it sound like a stable person you're describing?
but like I improve my own. Yeah.
Improvement.
And all the more
Well, it is because it's like say there's a conflict I have to be able to deal with.
It is an improvement. I see conflict. I'm not worried about my
So it's like
damage to myself nor.
it's like how do I improve my conflict resolution skills without practice?
Destruction.
No. So like
Isaac, I take everything back. I think you're more fit for the diplomatic role under World War III.
because it's like, how do you get experience in conflict resolution? You deal with conflict.
You don't. Yeah, okay.
So then the only way you get conflicts is by like being part of them. So it's like if you can, yeah. So you create them, but then it's like not unnecessarily. Yeah.
I think you need to bring out your favorite quote. You know what it is. You're a sociopath.
Oh yeah. Sociopath. Yeah, but then it's like, but then also it's not just purely like I also do it to test, like.
Okay.
Like
being
like merciful or like nice to people.
I like to test my capacity for mercy.
Yeah. It's like it's like
Messiah complex.
It's like I do something nice to someone to see if doing something nice to them makes me feel anything. And then so it's like testing out different like situations.
Oh, shit! I think you have to restart. Oh, fucking throat sore.
Yeah, so you're like, or like when someone's rude to me,
You kill them.
I like, facilitate these like conflicts arising. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Well, like say someone's like really rude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like, make an exception for them. I stick to the policy. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, sure. But if you're provoking them, making them rude, and then denying them...
There's no provoking.
Okay. But the way we talked about this made it seem like you're creating conflict. You even agree with the premise. What?
Well, it's like I am in a way where it's like I could not follow the policy and no one would know. But like, say like someone's like, oh, I lost my ticket.
It seems like we're getting to the point where it's like saying I'm creating conflict by not allowing rape to happen. Some weird shit. It's like, technically that's my fault for getting involved.
Yeah. It's just like.
It's like when shit's getting brought to you or happening.
But what I tend to do. Yeah. What I tend to do is more like continue the argument. So, for example, someone comes in. We have we have a cloakroom in the gallery. People can like leave stuff, right? Like coats and bags and things. Yeah, like when we went to the museums at the other places. Like
that always makes me skeptical. Unless they have like those locker system. There's some places where they just hang it up, or like the personnel takes care of it. That always makes me skeptical. I don't trust most personnel.
Right. But you should trust me. I would trust the guy.
The one who picks fights randomly.
Yeah. But then to say like what was I gonna say?
I have no idea.
Oh yeah. So say someone comes up and they're like
do they?
Like, oh, I want to put
my dick in your butt.
Like, oh, okay, I want to. Here's like 5 coats, right? So they want to give me 5
That's
coats
too many.
now, right?
Okay.
And it's like £2 per coat, right? Because you know it's like space. We have really limited space. So
Give me a group deal, mate.
no, well, it's like, so they look at the wall, and the wall says coats, £2, right? So they say to me, but it says coats £2, as if plural for coats. They could give me 300 coats, and it would cost £2, because coats is just like a plural. So it's like when it means like a coat, it's £2. So like when you have coats, each coat is £2. Not like no matter how many coats you give me, you've given me.
Semantic.
Yeah, so like I've given you a collection of coats. Thus, it should be £2. So I just say to them,
if you want
like,
to play
no,
the
it's
semantic game, I suggest taking it outside.
So it's like, I say to them, I say like, no, it's like per coat. It doesn't mean as many coats as you want. I said to them like, if someone gave me 300 coats, it wouldn't be £2. And then people started laughing at them, like other visitors. And then the guy got like really annoyed. And then I didn't say anything else. I just stayed silent. I let him be like annoyed and angry. I didn't try and like console him or like.
You showed him who's boss. I
So,
got
so for me, that's like re-education. It's like. Like,
I don't think that's how the camps work, but fair enough.
so it's like you think like, because it's like he thought his loads of coats it's £2, where it's like no, it means per coat is £2. So it's like he needs to learn to read better. So the way he won't like read, he'll think more about what he's reading in the future. Is he doesn't want to get laughed at.
Technically, it wasn't reading that was the problem. It was his logical comprehension.
Right. So in the future,
if it said coats, then yeah, like you could interpret the
he'll think
plurality in
things.
that way.
So in the
it would make logical sense.
He'll think things through better in the future because he was humiliated.
I just give him some finger guns and a wink.
Or it's like some guy, like for example, like someone. We don't take like we have to pay by card for everything, and the guy like you can't give us like cash and stuff. So like some guy who's like, oh, I've got all this stuff, I want to store it, and I'm like, he thinks he can just do it all as like one price again, like £5.
Classic.
And then I'm like, no, it's like you have to pay for each thing because it like takes space. And then he just like throws the money at me. Like a note, he just like throws the note at me, like really.
Wait, sorry, what was the context?
So he comes up and he's like, I have these 2 massive suitcases, and on your wall it says suitcase is £5, but it's like 2, so it'd be £10. So I explain, it's like it's per item, and then he's like, oh for fuck, like he's annoyed. It's like, oh, because he has to leave it there, blah blah blah, and so he like takes the like £20 note out of his wallet and like throws it at me, right?
With the sir, should I return the money to the sir so you can throw
Just
them
like,
harder next time?
Yeah, so like I just leave it there on the floor. And I say, oh, we don't take cash. And then it's like you have to pay by card. So then I just stare at him. And it's like, and then I say, oh yeah, because you can't take luggage in the gallery. So if you want to. Like, if you want to go around, you have to pay the £10 on your card. And then he has to, like, pick up his money off the floor. So again, it's like re-education. It's like, I'm not going to pick up the money if you're, like, too stupid to understand the system. And I'm not going to facilitate you or be nice to you or help you. It's, like, similar to cars. Like, I think I've said this before with cars and, like, zebra crossings. I just like step in front of them.
Oh yeah, you said some shit like that.
Yeah, they're going too fast to stop in time, so they're hoping that I'm too afraid to step out for them to just keep going. But I just step in front of the car.
I think I told you about this. That reminds me of when me and my brother lived in England earlier, like before uni, and we were just like making our way towards the road, and the car, instead of slowing down to let us cross, like tried to get ahead of us by accelerating, and we're like, what the fuck? Like, kids are crossing the road and this dude fucking accelerates.
That's probably what I would do. It's like re-education. It's like you're not at a proper crossing, and it's a road, so the cars have right of way. So if you're gonna cross, I need to scare you.
I think there was a crossing. It's just that.
Oh, that's different. I would slow down to let you cross. If I'm a good citizen.
Lies.
Because you've chosen to come to the crossing, so I let you cross. No. But like, if you like stopped in the middle of the crossing and you like just kind of didn't cross,
it's my crossing.
I beep the horn. I just hold the horn down until you go out of the way.
Maybe I'd hold you down. Ever think about that?
Maybe. But yeah, I'm fine, you know.
Why are you such a big meanie Linguini, huh?
But it's like testing my like. I'm improving my.
Yes, go on.
Here's
the thought.
My capability of influencing the world around me.
You were about to say inflicting. I heard that.
No, influencing.
My ability to inflict myself on others.
So, say I care about something, you know, like it all comes together because now I've improved my capability of influencing the world around me. I'm more able to.
If only we choose it for the positive.
I'm more able to care about things because I'm more capable of affecting them. So it's like, because I'm like more capable of solving the issue. Like, I can't, you know, like stop the war in Ukraine, but now I'm
you didn't even bother trying, Isaac. How could you know?
But now I'm like,
Putin seems to have a lot of influence. Why can't you be more like him?
Well, he's a killer as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, you're just gonna sit there and take that. You maybe should.
I think that's it.
Maybe we should re-educate Putin.
My journey's not over yet. My journey's not over. My capability for influencing others is just growing and growing each day.
You should become a social media influencer and stop.
No.
No? Okay.
Well, what, like if I say like
I
was like, I don't know, PewDiePie.
Yeah.
And then the war in Ukraine, I'd be like, I'd just like buy guns for Ukraine. You know, like I'd just do crowdfunding. I'd like buy military. You know what I mean? Like.
And I like how Elon gave them internet access.
Yeah. That's it.
Why did they lose it, or why would they lose it? Like,
it's infrastructure.
Was Russia owned? Like the initial satellites that were put over Ukraine? I don't understand.
Well, maybe it's not. It's all like cable based, like ground based, isn't it? So then, like, if Russia just attack, if Russia like attack all the like, you know, buildings, infrastructure.
I guess I don't have a good explanation. Like, I just assumed that
electricity
all places just had satellites above them for internet.
No, well, I don't know.
I don't know how many gaps. Like, how many satellites do you need to like cover the entire Earth? Probably a lot, actually. But I just assumed that they put it everywhere. Fucking literally.
Like Starlink, they're launching like thousands and thousands. There's like shitloads. And they still haven't covered the whole Earth, I don't think.
So they need more than a shitload, huh? How many shitloads are we talking? So that's your adventure growing as a human being has mostly involved getting more. How would you describe it? Conflict resistant? I don't.
Yeah, confident.
Conflict seeking is how I would describe it.
Well, no, it's like say I want to learn to paint.
Yeah.
Or like, no, say I want to learn to like ride a horse. I have to go on a horse and ride a horse. So if I want to be better at resolving conflicts and like dealing with conflicts and arguments, then I need to have arguments and conflicts.
Sure.
The same way as like when I want to have my own company and like run a company, so I need to have experience like managing people. So I took a job as a manager.
It was like, for some reason, I think it would actually be really funny if I had like constant situations like the ones you're describing, where it's just like I would, I would just like completely stop giving a fuck. Like the dude throws money at me, I was like, "Thank you, sir. You really showed me, sir. Please do it again, sir." Just like,
Yeah.
like they're just like, "Man, you really taking the joy out of this."
Yeah. Like,
I'm sure your parents are proud of your current behavior, sir. Man, fuck
and
you.
that's where I'm like getting to. It's like I want to. It's hard because what I'm trying to like sometimes do. It's because I'm seeking lots of different situations to like learn from. So like, can I try and instigate some sort of physical altercation? Or like, so I haven't tried humor yet, really. Like, like joke of like, like, or I could say, do you throw money at everyone? I'm not inflammatory. I'm like,
So please, sir, this isn't the strip club.
yeah. It's more like, yeah, like it's more like at the moment, I'm kind of like doing it more of kind of like, it's like seeing how situations resolve with like less input from me. It's like,
sure.
Like, so I just say, "Oh no, we don't take cash," and then just leave the money on the floor. It's like, it's like you're seeing what happens.
That's actually funny in itself. It's like, you just do money. You say, "Sorry, sir, we don't take cash." that's the only reason. It's gonna make it blasted with money. It's like he just empties the suitcase over your head. You don't even flinch. Like like it's a suitcase full of cash. Like he's trying to bribe. It's like, "Sorry, sir, we don't take cash."
Yeah. Then it's like it's kind of.
Have you seen Jeeves and Wooster?
Maybe, I don't know. I think so.
I actually really like that show. Like fucking Jeeves is just so fucking good. Like he's like so insanely diplomatic and like he's just like arc British. I don't know how else to describe him.
Yeah. But then, like, I also feel like, so like in the gallery, it's also we do get like weird people, and it's like
Isn't
a
that
big institution and like a target for things and like protests and like
oh, okay.
nutcases.
Target for things. I was just like, oh, we don't mean bombings.
Well, yeah, it's like a target for bombings.
Oh, for fuck's sake,
Attacks.
Isaac.
It's like literally central London.
Disarm it with your charisma.
Yeah, we had. Did I say about like there was a situation with like.
Go on.
Like the police had to come and like search for like something because there was like they had information there was like a weapon in the gallery somewhere. It's like
that sounds familiar. I'm not sure how much you elaborate on that.
Right, so it's like stuff like that. So it's not like London's crazy and you get like the terrorist attacks from before. They're not really happening like for a long time, but it's like being in a place which is like open to the public. Like we get thousands and thousands of people coming in all the time, and it's like, and it's like I don't know. Like I weirdly feel like responsible, or like
for others,
I've had someone at work say to me like, I don't. It's like they. Because I strategically like take my time off, so I don't have to work as much and work the evenings and stuff. Like they said to me this, like they don't like that I take so much holiday because they feel safer when I am working there.
Yeah, they just want to use it to meat shield, Isaac.
Right, because it's like I go there and I think there's like one guy who's bigger than me, and he's like the same job as me, basically. And it's like, well, not big. He's like taller than me. But then it's like all the security there. I'm like bigger than all of them, and it's like
That's humble brag.
like I think it's like 60 to 70% of like women work there, and they get like weird, like, because you get some people that come there because they know these women work there, and then try and like talk to them and like hit on them and like flirt with them and ask them out because
hell yeah.
they can't
I'm sure
leave.
they all
You know what I mean?
want it. Yeah.
And it's like they just get creeps, right? So it's
Hell
like,
yeah.
so it's like it's like this
So
situation.
They need you there to fucking scare them off.
Well, that's no, they shouldn't be that case. But then it's like it's like, what if a situation like that happened? Because there was one recently where it's like something like that, where it's like, yeah, someone didn't want to come to work for a while because it's like there's some fucking weirdo.
Hell
So it's
yeah.
like, imagine there's a situation where like a weirdo is like attacking someone. It's like,
They're
do I
more
just-
than a weirdo at that point, I'd say, but sure.
okay, but then do I just like let it happen and call security, like, or just wait for the police and just watch? And it's like, no. So it's like it's this like
Yeah,
weird.
what would you do? How would you pacify him, Isaac? Would you roundhouse kick him?
Fucking smash his head in. I don't,
Like a Terminator, pick him up
I
with one
always-
hand.
I always
choke
remember
him.
the quote from the like Sea King in One Punch Man, where it's like every
Where is this going?
it's like every hit should be every hit should have like every punch you make should be with the intention to kill. It's like every strike you do. So it's like all your attacks should be like as if they're like the goal is to like kill the other person. It's like full force, full power. Like there should be no like half
Happy
punches.
to hear you're learning something. What the fuck?
I always think that it's like
That's how I live my life.
yeah. It's kind of like
No half measures.
yeah. Just choke them out or fucking break their leg or something. I don't know. Break their hand.
I thought about similar things myself, actually. Where like,
But then
I don't want to keep punching and then risk my life, and then one
No.
of us might get like brain damage and shit. Might as well break his arm and get it over with.
Yeah. Well, my thing is just like sit on them, like grab them, and just like
Is another man's gem.
pin them down.
Sit on them. Isaac, this is no time to start talking about your fetishes.
Yeah. But like it's the the usual
Isaac,
way to like hold them down.
How would you defend yourself? I'd dress them up in a gimp suit and have them whip me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd flirt with them. I'd instantly get naked just to freak them out.
I spread my cheeks and charge at them ass first.
I'd have a sip of water and then like spit in their face, like spray so they can't see anything.
Okay.
Don't know.
You're like a squid.
Yeah. Make out with them.
I'll give them a kiss.
Like, don't like just sexually assault them. Don't physically like violently assault them.
I'll make them feel really insecure about their life choice.
Yeah.
That's how I defend myself.
I'd do that thing. Where it's like stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
But I do it to myself.
Yeah. I just start like moaning in their ear, like turned on by what they're doing.
What if it worked?
Well, you know, it's I'd learn like a new type of conflict resolution in this situation.
You provoke them, they get mad. It's like, the fuck do you say to me? You just go, ah!
Like there was a guy that came in,
What did they?
like there's some I don't know, like some guy, like black guy came in, and he's
Oh, where did you specify the ethnicity?
well, it's coming like it'll be
It's
apparent
coming.
in a second. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like he's coming in, and it's like you're not allowed, you know, drinks and whatever, and like food, like open food and whatever. He's like he comes in, and then there's like security guard basically like following him, basically like you have to leave, like He's just like walks in, doesn't even have his bag searched. He's just like walking about, and it's like he's just taking photos of all the walls and like wandering, and he's basically does this. He's like starts sniffing the air, and he's like, it smells like slavery in here, and he's just like pushing past the security, and like he won't leave, and like he's I don't know, it looked like he,
did it smell like slavery?
well, most fucking places smell like slavery. Like
he's part of the British Empire. What are they expecting?
so then he's like off his fucking. He's just like
Illusion shattered.
they haven't searched his bag, so he could have come in with anything. And it's like he's just disrupting everyone and like accused and like just shouting and fucking. They didn't want him in the building, and he's like he wouldn't leave. So it's like eventually they like convince, like he eventually leaves.
Both his legs.
But there's like, see, that's just like one guy situation. So then it's, and you get like really like visitors that get like crazy angry because it's like, you didn't. I want a ticket, but there's no tickets left, and they're just like yelling at people, and it's like,
how reasonable.
Yeah. So then it's like a situation where some guy just gets really fucking angry, and it just that's like scaring people, and yeah. So it's like. I don't know. Because I used to like I've never really had difficult situations with people or like fights. I've never had a fight with anybody. But it's like
never had a fight with anybody. Bullshit.
like physical.
We'll need a
I
strategy.
don't think I've ever really had an argument with anybody. Like a proper one.
Pussy.
Yeah. Well, I'm too smart. I just beat them instantly.
I'll beat them up. That'll show them who's the smartest.
I don't think I've ever yelled at anybody. I got
You
a
start
car.
with me.
I got hit by a car on my bike and knocked off the bike.
Nice.
And then I yelled like to like the guy was like I was like, "What the hell are you doing?" But like as I was saying it, I was like, I felt like I should shout that because I thought I should shout it. It wasn't my like initial reaction to yell at the guy. It was more like, again, it was like it was a situation in which I was justified to yell at someone, so I did it to like test out.
Beep boop updating human behavior.
It was like I didn't like I didn't actually feel the anger of
Circumstance
like
for
the
shouting
yell.
aloud.
Yeah,
Permitted.
it was like
Permission
this
granted.
is a situation where I can yell at someone, so I did. So it was like I didn't actually feel anger towards the guy, even though he just hit me with the car.
You feel
So it
hurt?
was like,
You feel hurt?
no, I didn't feel it. I wasn't like, I didn't feel anything. I was just like, oh, I got hit. It's as if you like trip over. Like, I tripped over. Well, keep going. It's like I didn't. Like my bike was fine, and then I was fine,
Oh, thank God for that.
and then I just didn't care.
No, but tell me more of your bike though.
Yeah, I don't know.
When was this?
Like ages ago, like pre-pandemic, like fucking I don't know, 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
Why the fuck would he crash at you?
Well, it was like a roundabout, and he wasn't looking, and I was, justifiably, I was doing it correctly, and he just didn't stop. So he didn't hit me at like 500 miles an hour and kill
Dude,
me.
fucking
It was like,
cyclists and motorcyclists who apparently in traffic is just a fucking shit show. Like when you already have a bunch of shit to pay attention to, having to be aware of like your blind spots and doing everything in the right order.
it's like, so you like.
I'm just saying there's a reason they have a bad reputation or people fucking hate them.
So it's like he was coming down the road. There's a roundabout, and then I'm like the other exit, like the other side, like 90 degrees, and I was already on the roundabout, crossing in front of him. Like you could see me. It wasn't like I was behind him or like swerving. It was like I was just using the roundabout as normal, and he just was probably looking at his phone and just kept going.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah. But it's the same when they're like Pitbull bit me. I didn't feel angry.
You had a pit bull bite you too?
Yeah, when there's a postman. I think I mentioned that before.
Certainly worth the
What a
extra
classic.
Yeah,
Did he
like
bite you on the ass, tear your pants
no,
off?
my like leg.
No.
But then it was like I didn't feel anything. I wasn't like, oh no, my leg, or I'm angry at the dog, or like these stupid owners. I just like I felt nothing. I was just like, I've been bitten. Okay. Yeah, like next. It's like I,
My dad got bit when we were on a walk. I almost fucking choke slammed the dog.
but then it was weird because it was like after that, when dogs would approach me for a while, I would be like worried about having to like hurt the dog if it was going to attack me again. Like not the same dog, but it's like my initial reaction to like a dog running at me was like it's going to bite me, but not like I'm worried it's going to hurt me. I'm worried I'm going to have to like kill this dog.
Sociopath.
Because it's like I don't want to kill them because it's not the dog's fault. The dog's
who's boss.
the dog's just an animal, so it's like
Yeah, I have the same issue with the dog, but like it actually, I keep hearing about people having troubles with those dogs, so I feel like they're just gonna have to be sent away at some point.
yeah. But there was like it was like any sort of bigger dog. It was just like
This was a fucking big dog.
yeah.
This was like
yeah.
like
But it was
40,
more like, it
50
was more the
kilos.
like a feeling of uncertainty. It wasn't like fear. It was like unknowing and like awkward and like I don't know how to act because it's like I'm not gonna let the dog like rip my leg off or fucking make me bleed and shit. So it's like as it's coming at me, in that I have to figure out if it's like gonna be nice to me or if it's like aggressive.
No,
So it's like
gosh.
so I'm basically in my head I'm like, do I kick this dog or not? As it's coming towards me. So that's the like feel. It's like the hesitation of like I'm gonna hurt this. Like, do I have to hurt this dog right now? It's like
yeah.
so that's the like the thought that bothered me. Not like I'm gonna get like injured or I'm not like afraid it's gonna like kill me because I know I could kill it. You know what I mean?
Hey, obviously.
So it's like, but I don't want to.
These guys had like 2 dogs with them. I'm pretty sure I could handle both of them at the same time.
But then it's like, say there's a nice friendly dog comes towards me and I kick it in the head and like it fucking dies and it's like the owners fucking sue me and I lose my job. It's like things like that. So it's like, what are the repercussions for me? So it's like, yeah. Ugh. I don't know. It's fucking late now. I have to go. I'm tired.
You should kill a dog and find out.
I want to go to a farm and like kill pigs.
Whoa. That transition was a little abrupt. What the fuck?
It's like I want to see what it's like to like kill your food. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like I eat so much meat. I want to see what it's like. Do I like? Would I be bothered if I had to like kill chickens and eat them?
No, you'd prefer it.
I feel like you know, it's like if I'm gonna eat stuff, I should like see what it's like killing it. If I had to like, you know, if World War III happens, you have to hunt our own food.
Sure.
Like, would I be alright killing chickens and like pigs and shit? Maybe.
I think it would.
Yeah,
I think it'd be fucking awkward at first, like figuring out how to even cut shit up.
Yeah,
would be...
I wouldn't want to. Yeah, it's like I want the method. I don't have to like slowly kill it. I wouldn't want to like make it suffer. But it's like I'd just be worried about making sure that I kill it efficiently enough.
Sure.
So it's like doesn't suffer.
There's a video, or actually a movie, about a autistic woman, and I don't like how similar I think to an autistic woman. It's kind of fun. Like, she grew up on a farm and around a lot of cows, and she really liked the cows. But she still didn't have a problem, like, inherently with butchering and killing them. What she had a problem with was like causing them undue harm, which was done in the complexes, where like the way they herd them like stresses them the fuck out. It causes them to like break legs and even like clog up the entire process, because they have to like carry them out of the pens in order to get shit moving again, because of how they're almost like making them suicidally distressed.
Yeah.
And that's basically how I think of it. I'm more concerned about how they live, not how they die.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it feels like a lot of people are
Come in handy.
think differently.
Yeah,
A
there's
lot
like
of people are just like, yeah, vegans like don't have don't do anything with animals. Free them all. Just
which I
become
understand.
vegetarian.
I understand the like, you know, it's just I'm not attached to animals in the sense. I can see them differently.
I understand the sentiment, but like, nature's pretty fucking cruel. Like, I don't.
Just
like,
release them into the
like,
woods to get eaten alive by a fucking fox.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, have you fucking seen a lion dig into a gazelle? They don't even bother killing it half the time. Jesus Christ! They just start eating their organs while it's still alive and screaming. It's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
So more of that, please.
But or it's just like there's other logic of like, if you released all the fucking like farm animals in England, the cows and pigs and sheep would just fucking eat everything and destroy the entire like ecosystem because they have no predators.
Yeah, of course.
Like what's going to eat a cow in England? Like
a badger.
A badger will eat the corpse. Yeah.
Dude, have you seen weasels? Those things are fucking insane.
We'll get like badgers and weasels evolving to like hunt cows.
What the fuck are they? Was it weasel? I think you have like an even smaller version of like the same animal, and like it kills a rabbit that's like 10 times its size. Those fucking predators are insane. You just see this fucking little sausage mouse, and you go, that can't kill a thing. It fucking kills things 10 times its size. It's ridiculous. It's like I have such a hard time believing that.
It's the same with like lynx cats, where they just like drop out of a tree on a fucking.
I don't fucking believe that either.
They just drop out of a tree, land on a giant deer, and just like rip its throat out, and it's dead.
Okay, maybe.
Because they're just like the deer's just standing there. The cat just falls out, like instantly bites his neck. Ta-da!
Yeah, it seems like clamping down on a throat is a pretty effective way of killing most animals.
It's like this video.
Don't you start with me, young man. This video? What are you gonna do? Do you have a video of a Link just falling down from a tree?
Killing a deer.
Cool.
But like the size, like you don't need to watch it really. It's just you can see the size comparison. It's like the Lynx even gets like kicked in the face, but literally just grabs its fucking head and just like fucking.
It sounds familiar.
Bites his neck. That's what those little fucking things that kill rabbits, isn't it? It's just like they get the neck and fucking they bleed out.
The image I saw was like him biting into the spine, like onto the neck.
Well, yeah, in them out like sensitive points if they know where it is.
Yeah, but I don't fucking know. Listen, I'm neither a weasel nor a rabbit. I don't know how effective any of this shit is.
Or do you see the fucking like jaguar that eats crocodiles? That's fucking nuts.
What?
It's like a leopard that's so fucking big it like hunts full fucking like crocodiles in the fucking jungle.
That doesn't sound practical for so many reasons.
Leopard eats crocodile. It's like a fucking giant.
Crocodile.
Like,
I mean, crocodiles come in various shapes and sizes. You have some river crocodiles that can get pretty small.
yeah. But it's like the jaguar jumps into the water.
Oh wait, no
and,
wait.
like,
What are they? Are they
grabs the
called
crocodile.
caimans at that point when they're small enough? So,
Yeah.
Wait, like jumping into the water to kill a crocodile. Oh, but crikey, ain't she a beauty? Like, what the fuck is this jaguar?
There you go.
Yeah, he linked it. Proud of yourself?
But like, it hunts the crocodiles. Like, it waits in like a tree above the water. And then fucking like goes into the water to get the crocodile. It's not like opportunist, it's like
Dude, it'd be so funny if. I wish there were more animals like the fucking honey badger. Whereas, like, imagine like it just spots a crocodile instead of trying to ambush it. It's just swimming at first. Just oh god, it'd be so stupid. Like, how the fucking honey badger gets like bitten by a snake, kills the snake, passes out, wakes up, and just goes for another snake. The kids learn nothing. I love that.
it's like how fucking tough must it be to like eat a fucking crocodile? Like you have to eat its
Yeah, it's very
underbelly.
chewy.
It's just like fucking Jesus.
Yeah, how
I always
do you
find-
start tearing it apart?
It's like the funniest thing with like hyenas when they like eat a dead elephant is that because the skin's so tough they like start from its anus. just eat its butthole, like that direction, and eat its tongue and its mouth.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
I mean they're called pachyderms for a reason. Do you know what that
Boats are
translates
made for
to?
transferring commodities back and forth.
It just
And those
translates
that
to
come
thick
across
skin.
newer tend to stay away.
Oh yeah.
it
So
is
like
where many
rhinos,
things come to settle.
elephants, hippopotami, which are still like one of the most fucking insane animals.
Yeah.
Dude, remember when he saw the skull? Like you couldn't tell what the fuck we were looking at.
Yeah.
There's just fucking teeth and bone protrusions going every direction. Fucking Jesus. Who came up with this animal? God was having a bit of an off day. As I say goodbye to the stream.
Bye.